Y'all remember Cartoon Network? Of course y'all remember Cartoon Network. That channel had some of the best entertainment for us Gen Zers, bro. I'm talking peak fiction type level. Well, it was peak fiction for us when we was kids. But forget the Disney channels and the Nickelodeons. Cartoon Network had the most GOATED shows ever made. To the point people still talk about them today. We talking the GOATED shows like Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, Pokemon, Johnny Test. All them shows that filled us to the brim with entertainment. And of course, we can't forget Cartoon Network's big three: Adventure Time, Regular Show, and Gumball. These were peak fiction to us as kids, you know, before we found actual peak fiction. These shows are what made us today and why we still so fondly remember them after all these years. And today, we're gonna be going over the best Cartoon Network shows and the one that was straight ass, nothing in between. We gotta start off with the big three of Cartoon Network first. Like, we can all agree that these three shows were the best shows on Cartoon Network, right? Well, two of them I would say are the best. One of them is alright, I guess. Regular Show is absolutely GOATED. This show was so much fun to watch, and every episode was just entertaining to see. Like, every episode goes from 1 to 100 real quick. Like, one day you see these guys raking leaves, doing barbecues, and just chilling. 5 minutes later, they somehow summoned Cthulhu, and now he wants to destroy the fucking world. And Mordecai and Rigby were always the ones to initiate this type of shit. As I've grown up, I've come to realize that these two are actual dumbasses. Like, the shit they get into and the shit they get others into is so life-threatening, and all because they didn't want to work. Back in the day, I used to not like Benson because he seemed like such a party pooper, bro. Always preventing these two from having fun. But now I can understand why he screamed at these guys a lot. It's because they were dumbasses. They don't realize that Benson's job is on the line for their incompetence and their willingness to just do work. Benson was doing everything he could to not get these guys fired, but also himself. And as an adult, I understand the pain that Benson goes through just to get lowlives like them to stop wrecking havoc all the time. Now, between Mordecai and Rigby, who was your favorite? Because as a kid, I actually preferred Mordecai over Rigby because he was the most logical one and Rigby was the more idiotic one. And I still think this is the case, but now I actually prefer Rigby because there's one thing I hate about Mordecai that makes me question his character, and that's his simp side. The side where he would drop everything for a woman, acting all simpy and just ew. Like, for the guy that's more logical, you sure know how to act pathetic when it comes to Margaret. And that one Cloud girl. I don't remember much about their relationship, to be honest. I remember that one episode where she turned into a giant grey cloud and she was mad about something, but I don't remember, honestly. My favorite episode was when Benson asked these guys to get him
a whole wheat donut.
Donuts, 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 donuts.
Just put the donut so you're fired.
Donuts, donuts, donuts. Shut the fuck up!
And of course, Mordecai and Rigby being Mordecai and Rigby, they mess up the most simple task and buy something else. And they gotta now slow down time with the power of sugar to let Benson get his
whole wheat donut.
That was a pretty cool episode. And that one FNAF episode, that was pretty fire. Next up, we got Gumball. And Gumball is just the best. This show is the most entertaining show to watch on Cartoon Network ever. There wasn't a single episode of Gumball where I was bored or didn't feel like watching no more. Every single episode I watched was phenomenal and so fucking entertaining. The mix of characters and cast that attended Elmore High was mad. Some of these characters were literal 3D CGI characters, bro, and they blended so well with the 2D characters. Like, this CGI is better than most anime. They had a T-Rex, a robot, a ghost girl, some talking wooden tree with horns, the one Gumball had a crush on, I think her name was Penny, and a balloon, a goddamn balloon, and that banana dude, and whatever this guy is. Gumball and Darwin were the absolute best duo on this channel. Like, we talking the duo. And these guys were just entertaining to watch as we see them on their adventures with everyone in Elmore. I remember that one episode where Gumball walked in on Banana Joe watching straight up fruit court. Like, my guy had the tissues ready as he was watching some spicy video of an orange getting peeled. Oh lord, didn't know Banana Joe was kinky like that. And that episode where Gumball and Darwin had to deliver pizza, and they delivered pizza to this pizza family thinking their new baby was delivered, only for Gumball to accidentally drop it on the floor. How is this even allowed to air on a kids network channel, bro? Obviously, the show got so much meme material, especially Richard Watterson. We can all agree that Richard Watterson is the Chad amongst Chads. Like, he is the best character on this show. He's got everything. The looks, the woman, the style, everything about him just makes me... Oh, mama. It's getting a bit hot in here.
Man, it's getting hot in here. I hope you don't mind. Unbutton a couple buttons here. I hope you don't mind that.
I don't even have a favorite episode on the show, because every episode is top tier and peak. I see no flaws with Gumball. And hey, that's just my personal opinion. I personally think that this show is perfect the way it is and has absolutely no flaws. And if you disagree, you can kill yourself. Gumball was the shit back in the good old days. And now we get to the last of the big three, Adventure Time. And I'll be honest, this show was mid to me. Like, it was a good show when I watched it, but I didn't care much for it like Gumball and regular show. It was alright, but it was nothing too crazy for me. Characters were alright, although BMO, best character in the show. And Jake, he's pretty cool. The rest of the characters can go suck doo-doo water. Now, I know they made Ice King like the big bad villain of the show, and the Lich. This guy fucking terrified me. But we all know who the real villain was. Princess Bubblegum. Now, I don't remember much about this show, but what I do remember is that I did not like Princess Bubblegum. Something about her was just icky, if you catch my drift. We all agree she was the main villain of the show. Although, I'm not sure why people say this, but I agree. The world of the show is very interesting. The land of Ooo got some really interesting stuff. Like, I gotta give it to Adventure Time for having really good world building. Although, I'll be honest, if the land of Ooo was real and people actually went there, it would just be another Game of Thrones, or it would be like Berserk, but you're the side character. Because the monsters on the show and the events that take place are all life-threatening. We wouldn't survive if we lived in the land of Ooo, and everyone agrees with me here. Like I said before, I don't remember much about the show, but I do remember some stuff about the show, like that one creepy episode where there was this talking heart and he wanted to do stuff to Princess Bubblegum. That was a creepy episode, I'm not even gonna lie. And seeing this heart dude was just uncomfortable and just ew. And the Lich used to scare me every time he came on screen. But other than that, the show was alright. Not as good as the GOATED, Gumball, and regular show, but it's alright. But that's my opinion on the big three. But let's be honest, Cartoon Network was more than the big three, as it had some of the greatest shows to date still. Pokemon is very obvious, but let's be honest, Pokemon is just universally loved by all. And I love Pokemon, it's so GOATED. Especially XY and XY and Z. It's just the best, it's just the fucking best. Then we had the Powerpuff Girls. Of course, we can't forget the best trio on Cartoon Network and the only trio, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Buttercup being the best one, and Miss Sarah Bellum for making me feel some weird stuff every time she came on screen. Damn, she's so bad, I just wanna Johnny Test was a pretty cool show. Him and Dookie were a pretty good duo, and the show in general was just good. But out of the twin sisters, Mary Test is defo the best one. She got the hair, the style down, and she's just the best. Susan was alright, I guess. Ben 10 was one of the best shows on this channel to date. Like, this show was so GOATED. From the intro to the aliens to the enemies, everything about this show was just... My personal favorite out of all the Ben 10s was Omniverse. A lot of people liked Alien Force, but personally for me, Omniverse was the shit. Seeing more grown up and mature Ben with a lot more aliens in his arsenal. But also, I might be the only one that likes this trope, but when the main character is traveling all on his own, like, he didn't have no companions to go along on his adventure like the first Ben 10 or the other Ben 10s. In this one, he was traveling Bellwood all on his own, and he would have a companion for that episode, and they would say goodbye at the end of the episode. I don't know, I might be the only person that likes it when the main character is all on his own, just doing stuff on his own. Obviously, there's much more I love about Omniverse, but this video would be too long if I talked about it. But I remember when Omniverse first started airing and they introduced Kyber as one of the main villains. Bro, this guy was terrifying. Like, his whistle weapon was intimidating, and the monster pet that would transform into different aliens on command was both sick and terrifying. I remember he was a scary and intimidating villain back then. He had the same vibe you got when Meruem was first born, or every time Meruem was on screen before he met Komugi. Kyber had that sort of vibe to me as a kid. But Ben 10 in general, absolutely GOATED. And last but not least, we cannot forget the absolute GOAT, Lego Ninjago. From them being Legos to them using spin jutsu and each of them having a certain element, this was that shit back in the day. I remember that episode where we all found out Zane was a robot. That was the plot twist of the decade. And when they revealed who the spin jutsu master really was, wait, the spin jutsu master was Lloyd the entire time, the son of the evil Garmadon? that was the plot twist of the century. Overall, this show was just the best. Had the best story, had the best characters, and was overall the most entertaining Lego show. Unlike some trash hoes like Nexus Knights. Blech. Every show that I mentioned were the absolute best shows on Cartoon Network and was peak entertainment for us Gen Zers. But of course, with good always comes bad, and there was some doo-doo shows that aired on Cartoon Network, like Steven Universe. I'm not watching a show about gems and rocks or minerals, bro. And why does Steven have a gemstone on his belly button? Just why? That's worse than having an outie belly button. Like, imagine having a giant red gem stuck to your belly, bro. And speaking of Steven, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like, every villain he encounters, he would rather talk about our feelings and work it out than have a legendary battle to the death. Bro, you're not him, okay? You don't got talk no jutsu like Naruto does. Like, bro wants to be him so bad. You're never gonna be him, so just give up, you fucking loser. Man, take this spin jutsu kick to the face and shut your dumb ass up, boy. Another show that I didn't like was Uncle Grandpa. That show was weird, I'll be honest. I have nothing to say about the show except it's just... Anyways, those are all the Cartoon Network shows I have time to talk about today. I know there's so many more GOATED Cartoon Network shows, but this video would be too long if I covered almost every single GOATED show on Cartoon Network. So I might make a part 2, who knows. But for now, that's all the time I got. Also, my mom said I should look more professional on my videos, and that's good advice, mom, thank you. But I'm trying to be authentic, you know what I mean? Like just recording videos in my room, in my pajamas, just trying to be authentic and just say, yeah, I'm exactly like y'all, you know, just in my room, just chilling, making videos, and just have a little heart-to-heart from time to time. I think every single one of my videos are gonna have like this little heart-to-heart thing where I just talk to y'all because, you know, y'all are my fans. But yeah, that's really all the time I have today. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Subscribe, please. I need money. And thanks for watching. If y'all want to see more videos by me, check out this video of tribute to the 3 greatest footballers ever, or this video on why Poppy playtime is scarier than you think. And I will see y'all in the next video. Topaz out.